Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 83 of Scion of the Dark House, a Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition Gothic horror podcast. Because it's a Gothic horror podcast, there may be some things that come up to a line for some people, such as blood and gore, violence, body horror, talk of abuse and trauma, child endangerment, and other such things. If any of these things come up to a line for you, please take a break. Your support means a lot to us, but so does your mental health. So when we last left off, the group had met up with Lucky, who had knocked on the door of their house with chamomile. Lucky revealed that he was looking for his mother and needed help, as he had an opportunity from a wizard who did time magic. Using a night hag horn, he ripped a portal into reality and led them back to the lovely shop that the wizard Laurent Dumont was setting up in the city of Cur Arbor, one of the elven cities in the Feywild. Getting the information they needed, that they needed to go down the road a little bit to enter the realm of the Swan Princess, who is tied to a possibly ex-husband of the Lady of Stars, King Rothbart, the King of the Moon. They set off on their way, finding a strange, dark section of wood on the road. Rerek used his arcane eye to spy on what it might be, and finding a strange grove filled with night. They entered it to find it was indeed nighttime, and also populated by pumpkins and scarecrows. After Lucky decided it would be a great idea to pick up a pumpkin and look at it, found it was a jack-o'-lantern. Rerek, alarmed by such brazen lack of self-preservation, slapped the pumpkin out of his hand and fired upon a nearby scarecrow, which happened to be alive. A giant scarecrow came to life, clawing its way across the battlefield through a wall of fire conjured by Alex to attack the party, along with a multitude of other scarecrows, but they prevailed, killing all of them. Where the pumpkin came to life again, and in the voice of Granther, warned the party that there were more of these things out there, and that they had grown from the seeds of the great pumpkin, which Lark had given to Granther to grow in his garden. He then revealed additional information on a tip they got about a realm that had just appeared, that the realm is helmed by an Archfey with fiery red hair. And upon the revelation of who that most likely is, we come back to the group standing in this open field in the middle of this strange grove of night with lifeless jack-o'-lanterns and a fresh lack of scarecrows. So what would you all like to do?
Okay, so now that can't be a coincidence, right?
Oh no, yeah, 100%. That's Samantha.
Yeah,
Yo,
great.
good for her. Good for her.
Good
Samantha?
for her. Yeah. Yeah, Lark, why don't you tell Lucky who Samantha is? That sounds like it would be nice.
She's a lucky mortal, former mortal, that, thanks to me, is now apparently a Unseelie Archfey.
Ah, congratulations.
I know. Everything she could have possibly been.
Yeah, that sounds like a good, yeah. Is she like an ally or something?
She wants to tell me. It's fine.
Ah. Yeah.
She technically helped us level up a few times.
Let's just say it was not a willing, on her part, transformation into an Archfey.
I mean,
Yeah, there is that bit.
that took the gift, and it did everything I described it would to her. It protected her and kept her safe.
She was a child.
Now she's an immortal Archfey. I believe that's a trade up.
I would tend to agree.
Or maybe not.
Okay.
Immortal. Hopefully
Yeah.
not immortal if she attacks us. But I've always wondered what an Archfey's heart would taste like.
Probably pretty close to what my foot up your ass would taste like. So,
Are we going to this cabin or not?
That's what I was thinking. I was
why,
figured you could just.
we need to go through. Why are we going to the cabin? Through is the goal.
I don't know if you guys wanted to rest or not. What?
Man, that's what I was thinking.
In a random, we have no idea what's in there. It could be one of those ladies that like eats unsuspecting travelers, or I don't know. The house could be alive.
I mean, if it was a hag, we could talk our way through it.
Okay, maybe you could.
Hmm.
And we all know who you're out to preserve.
Okay.
You
Well-
wound me, Arthur.
Deeply, I'm sure. Fine,
Do
whatever.
we go forward or do we go in this house?
I'm with the tiefling with the bear.
What? I didn't decide nothing.
I thought you said let's take a rest in the cabin.
That's just what the
You did.
Dragonborn said. Which, by the way, I'm not like quite up to snuff on everyone's names. I apologize.
I love that we're calling
Um,
each other our race.
That's
But
what I was thinking.
well,
It's just a bit.
That's Scaly Tits. This one's Ferryman, and that he's
No offense, Arthur.
well, he's an
but
asshole.
No offense, Arthur, but I'm not quite going to believe nothing you're saying. So,
I'm just well.
if
alright,
I'm going to
fine.
believe anyone here, it's going to be the person that is in the robes.
Hmm?
Yes, you.
Wow, you
Wow.
wound me.
Colton, that was so
Mortally, I'm
if
sure.
you knew.
It was so
If you
adorable.
knew.
You freaking dork.
We have
Jesus.
stories to tell you. Why don't we walk straight through these forests and tell you everything?
The little,
Lucky
What
you,
did
you,
just
lucky
turn
you
into?
do notice immediately. Percy does kind of perk up a little.
I'm quite charming.
Yeah, we're
What-
not staying
what-
in the cabin. We're going straight through here, and then we're going to tell you all the stories.
Okay.
I mean, y'all can do whatever the fuck you want. I'm just gonna like pout and start walking.
I
All
hop
right.
back up on chamomile, and now my lute is in tune, so I just dibble, dabble, dibble, dabble, dibble, dabble.
Okay.
This is a good story for you to sing to people. Perfect.
So as you begin regaling Lucky with various interesting tidbits about various members of your group, you walk through the woods to find that dawn not so much breaks, as this seems to be a stain of night on the forest, but it turns to somewhat of a dawn. And as the road curves through the woods, you find you are walking along a river. And at the edge of the river, quite a few feet ahead, there seems to be a out campfire, along with a bag and a suit of armor laying in this clearing up ahead on the road.
Keen smell.
Give me a perception check.
Thank you.
Don't worry about the book.
Okay, hang on. That is a
$18.
18. It's a very strange smell. You expect to smell a person, or at least a humanoid of some kind. Can you not hear me?
No, we can
there
hear
we
you.
go. I'm sorry. Yeah, can
Oh,
you wind
okay.
that back just a second? I lost you for a sec.
Oh dear, okay. You expect to smell humanoid, seeing the armor and the bag and the out campfire, but you don't. It's a strange combination of horse and fish.
Okay. Well, I guess, I don't know, Arthur does whatever kind of thing he usually would to let the party know Jasmine's kind of scented something out, like a hand, and just says, I have no idea what that is.
How far are we from this little camp?
I would say at this point, probably about 80 feet.
What does it smell like?
Like a combination of a horse and a fish. Jasmine thinks it might be good to eat, but that's about it.
Would that sound familiar?
You know what? Roll me a nature check.
I'm from the Feywild. My ex-boyfriend is a merman.
I mean, I feel like I know where we're going, but like,
I feel like
Arthur is
yeah.
clueless.
Yeah, I'm both for it. I feel like I know what it is, but
That's a 10.
I mean, there's the hippocampus.
that's how I
That's
was
definitely
thinking it
something.
is.
There's a few various fey creatures that have fish parts or horse parts. Nothing's really coming to mind at the moment. It's probably not a human. It's probably a fey of some kind.
What's odd is that now the suit of armor above game, does that appear to fit a humanoid?
It appears to fit a humanoid. A slightly larger humanoid, if you were to guesstimate, maybe a person who's about 6'5".
Okay.
Slightly above the average height.
Interesting.
I'm too far away to investigate anything.
Yes. Investigation is like touching and manipulating and
Yeah, I
all of
know.
that. Perception is looking.
Stealthiness? Stealthy time?
All right. Roll it.
All right. I'm gonna give you my stealth check. That's
Guidance.
the wrong tab. Oh, you know what? You want a guidance, Jasmine? Because I got a plus 13.
Sure.
Okay.
You guidance the cat.
28 for me. And Jazz is 25 before the guidance. So
Okay. Yeah, you move silently along the path. The leaves don't even rustle when you pass by them. There's no crunching of dirt or anything. As you come up on this suit of armor, you notice it has a very, very prominent shell and wave motif. It's all made out of metal and leather, but there's a very prominent sort of shell and wave motif
okay.
on this armor.
So we've got Rerek, Alex, Percy, Lark. Lucky shit.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm counting.
Is pass without a trace or something, or
No. Another ability.
Yeah, I'm gonna be a dick, and I'm gonna exclude Lucky, because I don't fully trust him yet. But one of them can like whisper to him or something. Yeah, I'm gonna do my psychic whispers. Let me roll a d6.
That's funny.
Cool.
That you're excluding me because you wouldn't be able to include me anyway.
Why is that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll just breeze past that then. Yeah, so for 6 hours, we've got the telepathic communication up. Again, it's just between me and each individual person. But I'll say to Lark, does an armor with kind of and he'll like, I guess, sort of poke it with his dagger a little bit, like a shell and wave sort of pattern sound familiar at all?
Can I roll to see if it sounds familiar?
You wouldn't need to roll. There's tons of different various cultures in the Feywild that exist under the water. Tritons, sea elves, various other mermaids, marrow. A lot of societies in the Feywild that live under the water and would most likely have shell and wave armor.
Lark's just like, it's called fashion, sweetie. Look it up. But I digress. It's probably who knows what from under the waters. The smells you
okay.
said were hippocampus to me, but they don't normally wear humanoid armor because they're horsefish.
At this point, there is a loud splash as coming
Fabulous.
up from the water is a 6-foot tall, bluish green, seafoam blue colored man. His chest and arms are covered in scales. He has webbed hands and the head of a horse.
Okay.
And he slicks his hair back and
Hot
gets out of the
damn.
water, trudging over towards the armor, which I'm going to count that you're standing in the bushes completely silent as he begins to put on his
Is he
armor.
naked?
He has a
Sure.
loincloth on.
Why?
Oh my
Rude.
God, Alex.
As he begins
Jesus.
donning his armor, what would you all like to do?
I would like to wolf whistle.
Quietly watch.
I just I'd quietly watch and enjoy the view.
Well, Lucky is used to like talking to people, so I wouldn't stop. I would just be like, "Oh, someone's there," and I would just keep walking forward. And I can't hear any of their shit in my head, so
Right.
And when that happens, when I like literally like go on the thing, being like, okay, let him go, let him go. He'll be bait. Let him go. Yeah, he'll be bait. Go. But also,
I'm not letting him be bait, and Percy's
call
gonna
dibs.
go join him.
Meanwhile, I'm standing like 10 feet away from the water. Yeah, y'all go do that.
So yeah, Lark's flying above the group at this point, and he's like, when Percy starts falling, he's like, your cousin had a point, though.
I guess I don't know. In still telepathically though, to Percy, I guess I'll be like, okay, so am I the only one who's still hiding now? That's definitely what's happening.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I don't.
Oh.
Looks like Alex and Rerek are staying back.
Okay. I'm just gonna chill just in case you guys get murdered or something. So
Yeah, let's get smart.
Okay.
Yeah, again, I call dibs if this man is friendly.
Okay.
So,
Ew, Alex,
you
you
know,
don't need
Alex
that
got
in my
big.
head.
so at this point, this horse man seems to notice you all coming. And as he's packing up his stuff, at this point, he has put on pants.
Thank God.
And he kind of begins to step out towards the road, and he notices you all, and he just kind of, oh, hi there.
good morning.
Good morning. What are you all doing down here?
Oh, just heading over to the Swan Princess's domain. Do you know? We're on the right way.
Just down the road.
Oh, perfect.
Cool.
And what might you be doing here?
Boy, I'm just traveling up the river.
Baiting, I'm guessing.
Hmm?
Baiting, I'm guessing.
Percy looks at Lucky, kind of like, what?
Like baiting, you know, washing yourself.
Oh, bathing.
What did you take I was saying?
Alex
Nothing.
sees that Alex sees they haven't gotten murdered. Alex sees that they haven't gotten murdered, and so he just like strolls on out as well, being like, "Did I hear about baiting? Do you need any help baiting? I'm Alex.
Baiting, you know,
What's your
baiting.
name?" And he just
Who's
like
the master
goes
of
up to,
dating?
And he kind of,
goes slow flirt noise to like this man, this god.
he looks at you and
wow.
kind of, there's a look of like, he knows what you're saying, but he's not going to say it to the whole group. And so he kind of just gives you a side eye and goes, I'm capable of baiting my own hook. Thank you.
I mean, if
Oh,
you
no.
Lark's just flying above at this point in the trees.
you
And
let me know.
you just hear him cattily call down, "Be careful of that half-elf. He's going to check and see if your head's the only thing that comes from a horse."
And he kind of
That
gives
part's
a bit of
out.
a sigh.
Okay,
And
I'm
just-
leaving now. Gonna
That
scoot
part's
back
out.
in the bushes, keep receding away from this
Just
mess.
Homer,
Alex
like
is
Homer
just
in that
being
meme,
like-
just like
No, Alex literally is just like, Alex, you can all tell Alex is like, oh, I'm gonna fuck this man. God damn.
I'm gonna see if there's some berries. Maybe let's look for some berries.
So, Lark, at this point, I would say you would probably remember the existence of these creatures. They're quite rare, but they exist. They're known as water horses. They have the ability to change into horses or into humanoid people, and they're known for being incredibly beautiful and incredibly irresistible. They also eat people.
Because they're like Kelpies. They're Kelpies. I thought so.
Now, they don't always eat people. Sometimes they do just have sex with humans, but sometimes they eat them. And so it's kind of a toss-up when you meet one, whether or not you're going to get eaten or fucked. It's kind of
Or
a toss-up.
I mean, eating what?
Is it like a
Mark-
praying mantis
Mark's
situation?
gonna land on a
Wait.
branch above the whole scene. Kind of like, you know how like a teenage girl sits in her bed with her legs kicked back and her arms up like this as she watches things? That's Lark's total pose up in fucking branches. And he just calls down and he goes, I mean, if you're hungry, it looks like you've got, in Sylvan, he's gonna say it. If you're hungry, it looks like you've got a taker there, Mr. Water Horse.
He does kind of look up and go, I guess so. And he, in Sylvan. And then he turns and is kind of, well, if you follow the road, you should reach the Swan Princess in no time. Her lake is right down there.
there's nothing that is out of the ordinary in the moment or anything that'll come up. It's just
No,
she seems to be in high spirits or something. That's perfect.
And at this point, you do see him kind of sniff the air a little bit. And he turns directly to you, Percy, and he goes,
Mm.
have you been to the Shadowfell?
Yeah, a little while ago.
Aye. Are you using that
strangers everything.
charm of Styx resistance you've got there?
Oh, right, that. I mean, I guess probably not. I don't have any plans of going back.
We're
Aye.
supposed to go back there soon.
We
Are we?
definitely have plans of going back.
I do
there.
not remember why we need to go back to the Shadowfell.
We had a vision. Someone had a vision that we have to.
It
go
was
back
your
to
vision.
Shadowfell. It was your vision.
I don't remember that.
Daruvi did mention when you were in the Indigo Monastery that he saw a raven, owl, and dark mantle surrounded by sad gloom, and that you were needed elsewhere when you had been in the city of Traverse. So
Oh,
yes,
right, it was Daruvi's vision.
yes.
I mean, I don't know why. Why can I ask?
Well, I've been looking for one of those for a while. Seems the nerds are a bit stingy with them.
Really?
So, I got a trade for you. You seem like you can't see in the dark very well.
That's true. I had to get these goggles to do it with.
Well, I am in possession of a charm of dark vision, if you'd like to trade.
Sure. I
All right.
guess.
And he sticks out his webbed hand to you.
Fire an arrow out from the bushes at Percy's feet.
What?
Just at his feet in general.
Why?
I'm going to make an
Can I roll
insight.
insight on this also, I guess? Just to make
He's
sure
going to
not
roll
gonna eat me.
insight as well.
I guess can I roll insight? I mean, I'll roll insight on the horsefish water baby.
Yeah, I got a 25 on my insight. Is he gonna eat me?
Doesn't seem like it. This seems like a genuine trade offer.
Okay.
The water horse turns around and looks directly at you as you've stood up from the bushes to fire this, and listening to Percy going, "Hey, what's the," that sort of thing, and he just kind of rolls his eyes. "You'll be fine. It's just a trade."
I might need that.
I was gonna say, Lucky starts like plucking his loot just because I'm preparing counter charmed, just because I don't trust Fey deals because I've been here a while, and I was like, just in case he's gonna get charmed, I'm preparing counter charmed. Like,
Smart.
I think I'm still under the protection from evil and good spell, so I might be good.
I would say you're probably moving towards the tail end of it.
Okay.
I would say you're probably out, because it's an hour?
I don't remember. It's something.
Because
Oh,
if
I
it's an
have it.
hour, I would say
Yeah.
you're 45 minutes into it.
it's
Alex still wants to bang this
10
horse.
minutes.
Oh, it's 10 minutes.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
It's
so
been
it's
more than
gone.
10 minutes?
It's gone.
Is
Okay.
It's been a nice long walk. So yeah, it's gone.
Cool. Wait, what did the Styx charm do?
It lessened. It was specifically for if you walked into the river Styx, because the river Styx is, as you learned, deadly.
Yeah.
It basically, you would still take damage from being in the river Styx, but if you had a charm of Styx resistance, it wouldn't lower your maximum HP. This is, of course, above game. And you wouldn't lose any of your memories.
Okay.
But that's only if you walk into the river Styx. Like, you can take a boat across the river Styx and be perfectly fine. That's only if you want to wade into the water. So
Just saying.
the trade is up to you.
I mean, sure, I guess.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
All right.
What are you trading
What
for?
have we learned about making deals with fairies?
That
So
Lark still
he-
doesn't trust.
Takes your hand and flips it
Lark's-
over.
Lark's gonna call down in common and be like, the Nereid sealed the deal with a kiss, water horse.
I'm sure they did. And he just puts his very large horse nose very close to your hand as he flips it over. And you watch as a single bead of light, the back of your hand glows and a single bead of light comes out, hovers between your hand and the nose for a second before it lands on the nose like a droplet and vanishes. And then he gives a snort, and a black dot comes off of his nose, sinks into your skin, and for a moment, the back of your hand looks shrouded in shadow as if it's in the night. And then it goes away. You no longer have your charm of Styx resistance. You now have a charm of dark vision, which allows you to cast dark vision 3 times without any components before the charm vanishes from you entirely.
Oh. Cool.
I thank you kindly for that one.
Yeah.
And he releases your hand. You are unharmed.
Thanks.
We done here, or
Yeah, sure. Lovely meeting you.
I was lovely to meet you as well. Oh, before you go though, and he turns
great.
to you, Alex. By the way, my name is Lachlan.
no.
And
Hello, I'm Alex.
as you shake hands, a sigil forms on the back of your hand and then vanishes like swirling waves with a horse on it. It vanishes very quickly. You can cast Sending, targeting him 3 times before it vanishes.
Let's.
And he just nods, slings his bag over his shoulder, and then walks down the road.
Bye, Daddy. I'll talk to you later.
Arthur's just gonna start walking. We're going that
And
way.
Alex turns around to like the rest of the party and be like, I now have a horse boyfriend. Man, boyfriend, horseman. Anyways, he probably has a huge dick. I'm excited.
Yay.
I'm gonna fly down to
That's
the
good
only
for
other
ya.
person who speaks Sylvan, aka
Hi.
I'm just gonna be like, let's not tell him what water horses eat most of the time, okay?
In Sylvan, I'm just gonna be like, I wasn't planning to.
Oh my god.
Like,
You know, I
I
don't
wish-
like it when
really
you
wish
two
one of y'all
whisper.
would have told me that like he eats people, because I would have responded with being like, oh, he can eat me any day.
Yeah, I don't.
Oh my god.
I don't
Moving
think he'll
on.
survive that kind of eating.
Munch, munch. Munch, munch, crunch, crunch.
It shouldn't be crunchy. I'm just saying.
I was thank you. I was gonna say that it shouldn't be crunchy because definitely shouldn't be crunchy at all. Ever.
Oh,
Mm-mm-mm.
but, you know.
So speaking of all these crunchy leaves underfoot,
I mean, we're practically to the Swan Princess's lake, aren't we?
Oh, yeah. I in Sylvan, I asked Lark if he wants to ride on Chamomile too, just because it's comfy. So
Mike's just gonna pause and kind of look and just be like, maybe sniff the owl bear for a minute.
she smells like bear. Like
He's just gonna be like, I'm gonna need to pass there. Better to maintain an aerial view of things, though kind offer of you.
oh, no
And
problem.
just flies back up into the air.
So
you two making friends back there, I don't like that.
So you
Oh.
continue along the road
I have a
for a
question.
little while. Yes.
How long will we be walking? Just because I could do like a sauna rest to regain some HP.
I would say it is not long enough to take a long rest.
Oh,
Sorry,
not
a
a-
short rest.
Oh, okay. Okay.
It wouldn't be long enough to have a short rest. It's
As,
probably about
as we
maybe
walk then, I think
15
Percy might
minutes.
come up to Lucky. And I think, like, you took a bit of a hit in the last fight, didn't you?
You know, like a little blood. Like, okay.
Let me... I'm a doctor. Let me take a look at that. As we kind of walk, I'll do a medicine check with my medicine kit, and
All
you
right.
can recover
Don't we have potions of healing?
maximum 14 HP.
Oh, yay.
When he does that, that reminds Alex and goes over to Ark and be like, hey, don't we? Or no, you don't have your stuff. You wouldn't actually have this stuff stored. I would go to somebody and be like, hey, don't we have like 30 billion potions of healing? Can someone pass me one? I need a drink.
Do you yeah,
I you don't need to waste a come here, and I'm just gonna come do the same thing onto him.
Well,
fair enough.
Potion of healing would be more than 14, right?
Depending
Probably
on which
not.
potion.
No, the potion of healing is only what, a D4?
It's a D4, yeah.
I think you
Oh,
all have a
Never
few
mind.
like
Goes to Colton.
like
I go to
superior
Percy.
ones as well.
I used those
Max
up.
again,
I've
14
only got
HP.
potions of healing.
Cool.
I have 6 standard healing potions left, so I have 6.
Okay.
Never mind. I'll just have my
Let your
cuz.
cousin rub up all on you.
I have
Okay. We don't need to do any of what that is.
So anyway, it's not long until you find a thick wall of mist rolling off of the river. At first, it just flows low along the leaves, creating a beautiful sort of almost slightly golden, misty morning kind of vibe across the forest, but soon it forms a wall. And you can see vaguely through the wall, it's definitely darker on the other side of the wall.
Oh, we're at the
There-
end.
There's you said it's like a misty wall, like
Just a misty wall.
okay.
Mist-
So is this one of them domain border thingies or what?
I'd assume so. It's the same direction that the horse guy pointed to, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm my naive way. I'd be like, here we are. Like, must be here.
Okay. Well, that's not ominous at all. So
It's just a lake. You're so
well,
suspicious of everything.
we'll go on then.
Okay, and I will go through the wall.
Lucky passes through the wall. What does everyone else do?
Okay, if he's fine, I'm going through the wall.
Let's wait a second. Do we hear screaming?
I'm gonna message spell back to Arthur and just be like, "It's fine in here," because I can do that as a cantrip.
Right.
Let's go, I guess.
All right.
Might as
So
well.
you all. All right. So you all pass through the wall. You end up on a road on the other side. It doesn't go very far, probably maybe about 200, 300 feet, until it hits a very large lake. It is beautiful in the nighttime that this realm seems to be eternally cast in. A perfect glowing moon hangs in the sky, reflected beautifully in the water. You see cypress trees that actually have a slight corkscrew to them as they go up. It's a very sort of Arcadian pastoral scene. There's even along the lakeside a pavilion with Greek columns and a beautiful dome with what looks like a weather vane on top with a swan. It is absolutely gorgeous, and the lake has swans on it. You can hear lovely crickets and what seems to be soft and dulcet tones of a harp playing from somewhere on high. It's very much a Seelie domain. Lark, you can definitely feel this is a Seelie domain. And that is what you see.
Okay, so
I mean,
now what?
at least it's preferable to the elf city.
Yeah,
Apart.
There is a distinct lack of elves here.
no accounting for taste, huh?
A lot of swag.
Wow, this place, it's so I'm not gonna say it, just kidding, because Arthur will stab me.
So, and yes,
It's so pretty here.
God damn it.
Oh, so pretty.
It's so pretty.
So pretty.
Besides it being pretty, what the fuck are we doing here again? We're looking for
The Swan
a
Princess.
different domain that this is attached to that's
No, this is
going
the
to lead
one.
us to the domain that we're supposed to get to.
Well,
This-
we need to go to the Swan Princess herself, which I'm guessing is in that quite large pavilion over there.
Okay, fine,
Okay.
Mr. fucking smarty pants.
One can only presume if we follow the sound of the harp, we'll find something.
Is the pavilion's in the center of the lake or something like that, right?
No, it's
Oh,
on
okay.
the side of the lake. And you
Okay.
notice there are similar like structures dotted all around the edge of the lake. There is an island in the middle of the lake that has a lovely willow tree growing on it. But the pavilions are on the edge of the lake.
Oh, okay. I just strum on my lute and owl bear forward.
Okay, so that way, I guess.
Cool.
Sure.
I can't hear anybody.
You walk along the road, and something you notice is that the harp music doesn't get any louder or any softer. It seems to be eternally coming just from on high, realm wide. It's just there, omnipresent, part of the atmosphere.
Ceiling
As you
and
can-
elevator music.
basically.
Delightful.
As you reach the pavilion, it's entirely empty. But you notice as you get close to the lake, there are what appear to be fireflies that kind of flit around. You also notice that there is a significant increase in swans. However, the swans don't seem aggressive as they would in real life.
There's a significant increase of swans. It's a very good phrase.
Yes, there is indeed a
7 swans
significant-
are swimming.
I think any amount of swans
This
is a
is significant.
significant increase of swans.
If there's one swan, that's too many swans.
Oh,
This is like
Percy, have
you
you always had a
definitely
swan on
doesn't.
top of your head?
What? What?
It's out of nowhere.
The swan just dive bombs you. and
Swans are
flies
assholes
away.
too. Like you were right.
They
In real
are.
life, swans are just
They're
In
like-
real life they are, but these ones seem quite docile. And as you reach the pavilion, you notice there is a very large swan. Probably if it stood up, it would be about maybe 6 feet tall, that's swimming across the lake, and it's glowing. It's very obviously glowing. And as it gets closer, it spreads its wings and flaps before bringing the wings close and pulling them up in front of itself as it grows to a height of about 7.5 feet. And dropping to the side is a cloak made out of swan feathers and wearing a beautiful white dress is a elven looking woman. She actually has a decorative breastplate on and her hair done in a single braid that comes down the front. And she does have not really fiery red hair, but more of a paprika red hair. And she walks across the surface of the lake. "Welcome, mortals," she says, as suddenly there are violins and cellos and flutes that are added to this music as she comes closer. "Welcome, mortals. I am Odette, the Swan Princess. How can I help you?"
I'm not gonna lie, above game, when you said breastplate, right away I thought like literally like a breastplate for like queens to wear.
yeah.
Like drag queens. That's why
No.
my face was like, what? And then I was like, no. An actual, probably like actually armored breastplate. Because I was like, wait. Are we talking
Odette,
oh,
the newest drag queen on RuPaul's Drag Race.
Good name for
Yeah.
a drag
Right.
queen, though. That's a good name.
It is.
True.
No.
He does ballet
Like,
too.
like if it's like student Odette or something like that.
For that. No, but like literally like in the game though, like Alex, when he sees this, like literally like he literally just tells her he's just like, girl, that reveal was everything. You stunning, gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous queen. That was amazing.
She does give a little
10
curtsy,
out of
pulling
10.
up her skirt into a
she-
curtsy as she walks up invisible stairs to the pavilion. "So, mortals, what can I do for..." And she notices Lark.
Uh-huh.
Did you piss us? Why do you have to piss off this absolute queen? Why?
I was wondering when this was going to become a problem.
I've done nothing in this domain, to my knowledge.
True.
And you've done things in other domains?
I mean, I've done plenty of things in other domains, including a merman named Pearl. That was fun.
Anyway,
That was easy.
is there some tidings coming from the Unseelie court? Is that why you're here?
No, we're not.
Have they declared
here.
war again?
It's
on
not
us?
Unseelie business, I can assure you. My friend here isn't really related to our endeavor. Lucky, you want to take it away?
At this point,
Yeah.
you see her kind of move her cloak aside, and you notice she's carrying a long sword. Additionally,
Oh,
about 24 swans on the lake all do a similar reveal, and they are fully dressed knights in armor.
A dozen swans are swinging. Oh my god.
yes.
Swinging
All standing on the
swords.
water in
Alex just like, no, he's just like,
full armor.
yes.
They
You might
don't
be
have
fucked, but
helmets on,
yes.
so you can
You're
see that they
all
are like elven women. But they carry a shield that is shaped like a swan wing, and they all have long swords that they all put their hands on as they're standing on the lake.
Girl, Alex is just fangirling, literally. He's just like, yes, you might be dead, but yes.
Shut up. And then I cast sleep on her. Boop.
Girl, yes.
Oh my god.
Really
I
just freaking the fuck out, being like, oh my god, this is everything. My
Okay.
fucking love for her heart is just
Why isn't my
So
sleep
oh my
working?
god.
I'm imagining like while this is going on and he's fangirling, Lucky is like trying to like pick out the tune of the background music, and as soon as I got it, I'm gonna like start plucking my lute and approaching the Swan Princess and being like, "Oh, Swan Princess with golden hair, like we need your
Doesn't she have red
aid."
hair?
Like,
You can tell she's kind of enjoying getting a little attention, but she's also side-eyeing Lark. Well, what can I help you with?
oh well, you see, you know the Lady of Stars.
I haven't heard that name in a while.
Oh, well, we need to get to her domain, and I figured, since your ex-husband, it was an ex-husband.
It was the Lady of Stars' ex-husband, possible ex-husband, depending on if she's dead or not.
Oh, and then wait, what was
The Swan
relationship?
Princess was turned into a swan by the Lady of Stars' husband, who
and
is King Rothbart.
yeah, and I know you're tight with King Rothbart, and we were thinking maybe he could
I don't know
assist.
about tight.
No, it's what? I look over, it's just like,
Was
my
she turned by that guy into the snow?
Yes, she was transformed by Rothbart into a swan.
Isn't
but
that how
she
she
then-
became an Archfey?
No, this was before she became an Archfey.
Oh.
She ascended to power after the curse was broken.
Oh, gotcha.
but it was a curse.
Let me rewind. Let me rewind.
I will give you that rewind.
I
Also,
thought he
the
was
name-
like, "Hey, you're an
the
Archfey
names-
now."
Also, the names are obviously based from the actual.
I literally
Oh,
yanked
it's
this
just-
from the ballet. Literally
Yeah.
just yoink from the ballet.
I don't know anything about.
Which I do that for the Feywild. If you notice, most of the people in the Feywild are just literally pulled from ballets and fairy tales.
Well, we were wondering. We need to get to the Lady of Stars domain, and we were wondering if you could assist us in any way.
Well, I certainly can. On one condition.
Of course.
If you come across King Rothbart, kill him.
Fabulous.
Girl, I have some spells to rip him to shreds. Maybe yes. I will happily do that, my majesty. Girl, yes.
This isn't just so much for you all, but because we have an Unseelie Fae in our midst.
And
Why
we're
do
the
you-
war-hungry ones. Oh
That
my.
one over there, he's harmless. Absolutely
Okay.
harmless.
Well, I don't know about. Oh, never mind.
He's just a little guy. Can't do much. He's harmless.
Either way,
I'm just gonna bat my eyes at the Swan Princess.
she's not buying it. You can tell she is not buying it at all.
Could I sing a song to her accolades with a persuasion
I want to do that.
or something? Like,
Sure, give me a
To, like,
persuasion check.
yeah,
Theories.
that's my
Yeah.
highest skill. 24.
She kind of takes a deep breath. Well, I will assist you in taking you to the domain of King Rothbart. But my deal still stands. You may not necessarily see him. He has become somewhat of a recluse, paranoid, frightened, locked himself in his castle. Whatever you do in the domain, don't incur his wrath unless you plan on killing him.
Sounds fair.
Okay. That doesn't sound awful, right? Right, guys?
Yeah. I feel like if we do have to kill him at some point, I feel like it's good practice if you want to kill somebody.
Okay, we've killed
King
plenty.
Rothbart is an archfey.
Throwing that out there.
But if he's locked himself in his castle, why don't we just set it on fire?
I love that.
No, don't say that.
I love that idea.
Whatever you wish to do,
But-
if you plan on doing something and acting against King Rothbart, make sure he is dead.
That's real quick question though. You said you hadn't heard the name of the Lady of Stars in quite some time. What is how long is quite some time? I know time is weird here, but
Yes, it certainly is. Possibly a good 1,000 years.
Oh, lovely.
Amazing, and I love you.
I'm gonna look. I look over at Arthur, and I'm just gonna be like, "You're not 1,000 years old now, are you?"
No.
Oh. Actually, how old are you?
Yeah, like, I don't know, 26 now, I think.
Oh, okay. We were born in the same year.
Oh, cool. So we killing this guy, or?
I look back at the Swan Queen and just like bow.
So what is it that you want with the Lady of Stars anyway?
You see, she's this one's mother. And I point to Arthur.
And she looks at you. And at this point, she actually strides forward, takes your head in her hands, tilts it back, and looks directly into your eyes.
Okay.
I don't believe it.
Me neither. My feelings kind of hurt.
I can see one of her stars.
Confirm. You
Is
are
that good?
the mother.
She does let go of your face. And she kind of turns and she goes towards you, Lucky, and once again pulls, presumably you're on chamomile still, so she
Yeah.
kind of pulls you down and looks into your eyes. Well, I'll be. There's another one.
What is
Cool.
that?
Do we get a prize or?
Stop being so rude, Arthur. Does that mean anything? Like one of her stars, like just.
Yes, it
'Cause
does.
I've never met her. So.
Her stars were her life force. If you two have them, you are definitely descended from her.
Oh.
Sorry, Lucky is going to like adopt the smuggest look possible and just like turn to Arthur and then just turn back and just be like da 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 da, and just start like plucking on the lute.
Okay, so what? Can we shoot fucking lasers now or what?
Do we
Oh.
still have to go when she just confirmed?
Wait, yeah, can we shoot lasers out of our eyes?
No.
Well, it was
And
worth
she
a
kind of
try.
looks back and forth. What are the names of your beasts?
Nice chamomile.
And Jasmine.
Tea.
Well,
She even
since that
smells like it.
certainly confirms it. Those were your gifts from being descended from her. An animal bonded to you.
My what?
I mean, when I was in the circus, this owlbear started attacking, and then just became part of the circus. So
Well,
That was
and
nice.
this
And
one,
you
I
didn't think that concerning?
Well, no, see, the farmer that found me in the woods sold me to the circus when the owlbear was attacking his farm. So I didn't think anything of it. I just thought the owlbears liked me.
And you're a panther.
I found her in a tree. She was alone.
And you didn't think that suspicious?
Well, odd for sure, but I was a child. I didn't think anything of it.
You see, these animals have no parents. They're spirits, formed from a shard of the star inside of you.
Wait, I
Oh.
have a
They're
star
bonded to you.
inside me?
I don't feel anything.
Where?
Well, either way, whatever your mission is, it is most likely incredibly important if it involves the Lady of Stars.
We're just
My
looking for
deal
her.
still stands.
Kill King Rothbart, yes.
Yes.
If we see him,
She turns and she makes a motion in front of the lake, and
wait.
rising in from the lake are orbs of water that mold themselves into swans, glitter for a moment before they transform into real swans, large enough to carry each one of you. The only problem is this one. I hope you won't mind. And she reaches out and touches Chamomile, and Chamomile transforms into a swan. That
Yay!
will last until you reach the domain, and she will transform back into an owlbear. This is
I'm
simply
gonna,
to
like,
get her there.
I'm gonna like grab. Can wait real quick. Could it be like a swan but with like Chamomile's face?
A swan with the owl
As
face.
the owl's head turns, she looks at it. Unfortunately, I'm not sure I can do much about the face.
I
Yes.
just
Swan neck with just like an owl.
This. Did you guys watch Owl House? That reminds me of Hootie.
Yeah.
oh,
That's fabulous, though. That's
I'm
fabulous.
just gonna be like, let's fly, like grab onto the neck and like.
They will know where to take you. Go, off with you.
Yes, I love you.
Okay,
You're
thanks,
my favorite. I
Swan
love
Is
Lady.
is the other swan made of water?
They're real enough for the moment.
What?
Don't question. I'm gonna be like up in the sky flying.
Get
like an
on
owlbear.
the swan.
Don't get on my swan.
Okay.
So I'm assuming you all get on one of the swans.
We're gonna get on the swan.
Before we go, though, Lark's just gonna like kind of drift past and just casually be not casually, just gonna be like, Princess Odette.
No.
What?
You know that I can't make any promises to Unseelie, Faye. It goes against our kind, but I am curious. Has word reached your court at all about the troubles in the material plane?
No.
Funny then how we're the ones who are helping save it this time.
That's it? Just gloating? That's what you wanted to do? Telepathically, of course, since he's
Oh,
flying
yeah.
away.
And here's the thing, like, Lark's not lying. He never
Right.
lies.
Right.
No,
And of course,
just
Odette can sense
gloating.
that. You watch as you fly away on the swans as she turns and marches off in a particular direction, very determinedly. But you rise into the night sky towards the moon. The clouds close in for a moment before suddenly the clouds part and you are flying on these swans. Through the night sky.
It
kind of does
Shining, shimmering, splendor.
And avoiding
Stop!
copyright
Don't sing any
strikes.
Disney songs. We're all gonna
They
break
will
into
come for
song.
us.
Please.
But as you glide across the open air above the clouds, you see this floating land mass. It is almost a perfect circle where you see walkways and once again the strange corkscrew cypress trees and little pavilions dotted around the outside, and a wall for a raised hedge maze, at the center of which is a beautiful obelisk that seems to be made out of a ribbon of light that spirals upward and is tipped with a single star that's glowing beautifully over this hedge maze. And there are 12 pavilions around the outside of this hedge maze. At the back, rising above, is a beautiful castle that appears to be made out of white marble. And the swans descend and land, and then they sort of squat down and sit in the field, except Chamomile, who, when Chamomile lands, there's an awkward as Chamomile returns to owlbear form.
There you go. I give her scritches.
Oh, Chamomile loves scritches.
Oh.
Although you do have to be real careful because she has a bad tendency of rolling onto her belly. And so you kind of have to stop and start as she like wobbles like she's gonna roll over.
I also imagine like her
Love it.
happy face. She does like a like one of those like dog yawns, but because she's an owlbear, it's terrifying. It's like
Yeah. Oh, for sure. So yeah, you land on this beautiful garden. It's almost a lawn with this sort of ever so slightly purple tinge to this soft, almost seafoam green grass with the cypress trees growing. And you notice there are telescopes set up, pointed outward towards a field of stars that surrounds this entire place.
wow.
Why don't
Is,
we
is Rothbart Seelie or Unseelie, by the way?
He's one of those that it's hard to tell. He's one of those kind of in the middle ones like Oberon, where he kind of cavorts with both.
Where the fuck are we now?
Aren't we? Yeah. Oh wait, we're in Rothbart's domain, right?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. The domain of the moon. Or
Sure.
what was it
Is
called?
that a
We
question?
can just call it Rothbart's domain. I don't think it has
Gotcha.
an official name.
Oh, okay.
They don't always, these places don't always have official names.
And we landed like right before the hedge maze, right?
Kind of. There's like an outer ring and then the hedge maze. So you've landed in the outer ring. The outer ring is probably maybe about like 60 feet wide before it's
Mhm.
just off the edge.
Mhm.
But there's the telescopes and the pavilions and all kinds of these sort of lovely structures around the outside. It's very clearly a manicured and tended lawn, if not a garden.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, and we're so how are we supposed to get to the domain of the Lady of Stars from here?
Well, we needed a thing of hers, like a personal item or
Also,
something.
above game, this is the domain of the Lady of Stars. It's one of those ones that's shared because the
Oh.
two of them were married.
Oh.
King
Oh.
Rothbart's domain is the domain of the Lady of Stars.
Oh. We're here.
But we wouldn't necessarily know that.
Oh,
they
okay.
have shared custody?
I would say that you could probably maybe piece it together, especially because you, when you first went to the Feywild, you ended up in the land of the May Queen and the Harvest Lady.
Right. Okay, well I guess Arthur kind of probably like looks up at the top of the obelisk or something and says something like well, that looks pretty Lady of Stars-ish to me.
I think the telescopes would be a more hint than that, but yeah, I guess so.
I mean, so
Hey, Arthur, do you think
Uh-huh.
Rothbart could be our father?
can we not right now, actually? That would be great. I don't have enough alcohol for this. We just do the thing. Like one lost parent at a time, if that's cool.
Oh, I wouldn't know. I never had any, so
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway,
smoke it up on that one.
yeah. So,
I guess we have
Castle.
to go through the hedge maze.
It
To
does
get-
seem to be structured. You do have to go through the hedge maze in order to reach the castle.
On like noticing that, I'm just gonna be like, why couldn't they just fly us to the fine. It's always they
Fucking
always drop you off
swans.
right off at the door instead of just where you going. They drop you off down the block instead of where.
Lark's just gonna be flying over the hedge maze and be like,
Can
I
you
mean,
direct
I-
us? Can you
Yeah,
direct-
we get it. Thanks.
I mean, I could cast fly.
We have a couple people that can cast fly, actually.
we could
Yeah.
if the flyers all cast fly on higher levels, we could all fly over the hedge maze.
Yeah, because we can share. We can like boop.
Oh, let's just do that then. I'm down.
Well, I
Oh,
can't.
that's true.
I can't like cast it as a spell. I get a charge. I go, bum.
But there's a certain weight limit, right? Or like a size? No? Or does that depend on the size?
That's levitate. I think fly is you target
Oh.
a creature of a certain. I think you can target just about any
You
creature.
can do like up to two,
much.
I think.
Yeah.
Or no,
You can only fly
guys-
10 minutes. So
You can
Yeah.
save the spell slots, and I'll just point you in the right direction from above the hedge maze.
We can
that
also
sounds
do
good.
that, which sounds fun.
All right. Is
Can-
that what you all would like to do?
Real quick, right before that, can I investigate a telescope?
Yes, you certainly can. You look through.
I'm gonna use my passive, which is 22.
Okay.
so-
Yeah, it seems to be a regular telescope.
Mhm.
You look through it. Roll me a d8.
Oh, D8. 4.
As you look through it, you see a patch of the sky that is significantly darker. Hovering in the air, it has to be huge because you're viewing it through the telescope, is a huge ethereal salmon. Inside
What?
of which there are several stars that are all connected like a constellation. If you'd like to roll a nature check, you can, or a
Okay.
history check.
Which is better? No, they're both the same. Okay, I'll do history because that seems more in character because I was a book nerd. 16?
16. You recognize this is a constellation. Sure, it's a constellation on the material plane, but it's a constellation known as Vissa, the Great Salmon.
Delicious.
I had sushi last night. That's just making me hungry. Like, salmon belly. Oh, so good.
So that's what you see through the telescope.
Awesome. Okay, I'm just gonna assume all the other ones are pointed at other constellations. I'll be like, cool.
Probably.
Let's go hedge maze.
All right.
Anything interesting or
I saw
big
a
shocker?
salmon.
Was it stars?
It was
Okay, it was a salmon.
it was like an astral salmon. Like imagine a salmon god.
Imagine salmon.
Why will I?
Is that the name of your new band?
No. Yes, indeed. No. Imagine like a
Oh,
salmon.
good thing you
god.
didn't roll the dragon constellation then, or that joke would be a little too on the nose.
I'm glad it had that one removed. Yeah.
All right, so you all head into the hedge maze.
Yep, into the hedge maze. Certain death.
Hedge maze.
Alright.
I'll fly above and give them directions. But when I'm out of eye shot of them all, I'm just gonna reach into my pocket and pull out a handful of seeds. And I'm just gonna cast gust by blowing on them to scatter them all over the place.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah, you kind of hear the rustling of leaves as something pitter patters through the hedge.
This
You
takes
don't know
me
what it
back.
is.
This takes me back from when I burnt that maze. That one
I mean,
time.
my maze, my hedge
Yep.
maze, and my house.
Shall I do
I
it
still
again?
have nightmares sometimes.
And genocided an entire
I
Shall
mean,
we do it
that-
again?
Does make it easier to get through because you just go through them.
So the
Don't
maze
encourage him.
seems to lead you all to the pavilions one by one. The first one that you arrive at, you notice that there is a statue inside of this pavilion. It is a sort of portly but still sort of built man carrying a very large crossbow with suspenders on, very thick pants, very heavy looking boots, and almost what appears to be a flat cap. He has a handlebar mustache, and standing next to him is a pony with one leg up like a show horse. Lucky and Arthur, as you get close to this statue, there's something in your memory that even though you've never seen this person before, you've never heard of this person before, something pings. This is Porthos and his horse, Chai.
It's a brother.
Is that does he look familiar?
He actually, can I honestly do an investigation to see if he has any like similarity to my time wizard Dumont? Because he also had a handlebar. You said handlebar mustache, and I was just like, well.
Sure, you can do an investigation check.
22 again.
Oh, okay. Interestingly, as you're investigating this, it's not Dumont that you see in this person. It's Arthur. The eyes and nose are very similar. It's hard to tell about the lip shape because of the mustache, but it looks a lot like Arthur. More of they could be related rather than they're the same person, but...
I think you get fat.
I'm sorry, what?
I think you're gonna get fat.
Why would you say that?
I mean, you know, I mean, that's pretty obvious. It's one of your relatives. You
I
see,
don't see it.
it's easier for us to see on you because the Tiefling kind of fucks it up.
Yeah, all right, moving on.
So as you move on, it takes you, the maze is more of a labyrinth. It takes you to each of the pavilions. You witness each of the following. An elf woman wearing what appears to be samurai armor, drawing a katana with a dragon by her side. This is Hoshiko and Oolong. You then see a woman who is wearing a sari with a pair of tingsha bells in her hand with a tiger leaping behind her. And this is Banumati and Darjeeling the tiger. You then see what appear to be twins. The statue is repeated twice with one in front of the other, but they are twins, male and female, elf, and one of them has a book, the other has a censer, and there are two doves flying over their heads. This is Samuel and Deborah with their doves, Earl and Lady. You then come across a statue of a man with dreadlocks and wearing a robe with a staff with his hand out, holding what appears to be a hornbill. And this is Chitandu and Ruibos, the hornbill. You then come across a man wearing more of like a diver's sort of clothes, very short cropped pants and a bandolier across his chest with what appears to be spears for fishing. And this is Nimuel and Hibiscus, the monkey, who is on his shoulder. Yes. You then find an elven woman wearing kind of a farmer's outfit with a moose. And this is Charlotte and Ginger. You then find a tiefling woman wearing what appears to be a white floral dress with a wide sun hat, carrying a basket of lavender with a bat flying behind her. And this is Estelle and Verbena. You then see a Goliath with a huge axe covered in furs with a wolf head on his head, with a wolf behind him. And this is Oleg and Sage, the wolf. The most startling, however, is when you come across statues that look exactly like you. One is obviously Arthur with a bow drawn. In fact, the bow you have drawn, an arrow knocked in it. And Jasmine leaping behind you. And finally, you see, riding atop an owlbear, Lucky, with his loot. This then leads you back to the center, the sort of central ring where the obelisk is, and you see straight across is a straight shot to a pathway that leads to a staircase up to the castle.
I think they did a better job at capturing your likeness than they did mine, honestly.
That was me. That was my bow. I just got this bow. How long? I don't get it.
I mean, what is there to get?
How the fuck is there a statue of me in a realm that's been abandoned for God knows how many fuck years? And I was only born a couple decades ago.
You know, we're in the Feywild, right?
Yes.
And the coin of phrase, shite gets fecky. So,
You know what? Fine. I just want to get the thing, and I want to get a drink. Need a drink.
Does anyone else want to?
I'm just gonna sidle up to Alex and be like, after yesterday, this is refreshing. This is honestly refreshing to see someone else, with a shitty family. This is. Don't say this to them, of course. This stays between us, but.
Hey, Peanut Gallery. You know I can still hear you in my head, right?
Well, I'm saying it. Okay. Well. Yeah, I said it.
Okay, cool, great. Yeah, fuck me, right?
I mean, Percy, though, Lark just flies right from behind Alex's head.
Oh,
we lost Alex. Shit.
Oh no.
Percy, darling, wouldn't you say, though, that having a mildly prophetic statue of yourself made by your family is less fucky than, I don't know.
Let me have this.
Trying to destroy an entire plane of existence to remake it in your wife's image.
Yeah, I might get to be an Archfey something thing.
Arthur, this raises a great question, though. If, if our mater had all of this time and power, why would she just not be there,
It's a really fucking great question.
Darlings, do you honestly think Fey parents have to be good at being parents?
Oh, I had no expectation of it.
I bloomed out of a flower when all of my cousins were trying to kill me, not to mention the red caps.
I haven't expected anything from my birth parents since birth.
Yeah, I guess that's we have in common.
Yay.
so Lark, as you're flitting down close to the ground to speak with your friends, there does seem to be water across the stones. The light twinkles off of it interestingly, and you take a glance down at one of the puddles. And as you look at the puddle, you don't see a face you recognize. You recognize it in a way. It is your own reflection. But you are wrinkly, covered in liver spots and boils. Your eyes glow red, and you have claws like Panic has. Black claws. And you blink for a moment as your heart races, and your reflection is perfectly fine.
Whoa.
And that's where we're going to end this week's episode. So join us next week as they go deeper into the realm of Rothbart the Wizard to try and find anything about the Lady of Stars. So I will see you all next week.